I'm Bhavna HT, working as assistant professor in Department of ECE BMSCE. I'll be explaining the simulation of serial communication. Okay, so that is both serially transferring the data and receiving the data in the Keel simulator. Okay, so first we'll see some of the steps of serially communicating, how to do the serial communication, how to do the serial transferring of the data and receiving the data. And we all know, like, some certain baud rate has to be set for the serial communication before start of communication. So for setting the different baud rates, we have to select the tmod register. In tmod register we have to uh, load the value 20h, that indicates we are using timer 1 in mode 2. So timer 1 in mode 2 is used to set the baud rate, and loading these different values in timer register in the th1 register, we will achieve these different baud rates. Okay, so the crystal frequency will be divided by 32, and then it will be divided by 12, and then it will be divided by 32 for serial communication. And by loading these different values in th1 register, we are going to achieve these different baud rates. Okay, so after that we have to load the scon register with value 50, that indicates the serial mode 1, where 8-bit data is transmitted along with one start and one stop bit. Okay, so in the data framing, one start and stop will get added. Totally 10 bits we are transmitting in serial mode 1. So we have to select the scon we have to load the value 50h into scon register to do the serial communication, that is to select mode 1 type of serial communication. And tr1 we are going to set, as the timer 1 will be running at the set baud rate. Then we have to clear the TI flag. So if any TI flag is raised, we have to clear it to transfer the next character. If this step has to be repeated, if multiple characters we are sending, this step has to be repeated. If for the first time we are transmitting the first character, it is not required. So the character byte which we want to transfer it serially, we have to place this character byte in the SBUF register. Then we have to monitor the TI flag. When the TI flag will be raised, when the all 8 bits transmission has been completed, then the TI flag will get raised. So we have to monitor the TI flag, so that we will come to know whether the entire character byte has been transmitted or not. By monitoring this flag, by using this JNB instruction in assembly programming, JNB instruction can be used to monitor the TI flag. So once it is raised, that indicates the entire 8 bit, that means one character byte has been transmitted, then transferred. So we have to go to next step, that is fifth step, where the clear TI flag to send the next character byte. So these are the steps that we need to follow in serially transferring the data. Okay, so now for serially receiving the data, we have some more steps. It is very similar to transferring the data, where loading the tmod register for definite baud rate and loading the th1 register to achieve different baud rates. These all steps are same in case of serially receiving the data. But the changes here, we will set the tr1 to start the timer, and the timers will be running at definite particular baud rates. And here ri flag has to be monitored. Okay, so serially receiving the data means some external device is there, through that device we will be receiving the data into the microcontroller. So we have to monitor the ri flag. Before that, if we have received the previous character byte, to clear that ri, we will use clear ri instruction. Otherwise, if it is a first character byte, it is not required again. And this ri flag bit is monitored with instruction JNB ri. So in case of serially transferring the data, we used to monitor the TI flag. Here we have to monitor ri flag. So using JNB instruction, we'll monitor the ri flag. Once that flag is raised, that indicates the entire character byte has been received by the microcontroller, and that character byte is there in SBUF register. So we have to copy that data from SBUF register to any other registers, let's say accumulator, accumulator to R0, R1, any other registers. You can copy the data which you have received serially from external device to microcontroller. So monitoring the RI flag and copying the data byte from the SBUF register to some other safe place. The contents are moved to some safe place, okay, to receive the next byte. So to receive next byte, again we have to go back to the step 4 where TR1 is set to 1. Sorry, not step 4, step 5. It is where RI is cleared. We have to clear the RI flag when it is raised. Then we have to again monitor this RI flag. So once again, if the array flag is raised, that means we have received the next character byte. Again, we have to copy that character byte into any other safe place. So from SBUF register to accumulator, then to any other registers, you can copy that data byte. So these are the steps that we need to follow to receive the data serially. Okay, let us see the simulation part here. Yeah. So here, uh, I have written the program in Keel IDE to receive the data as well as to transfer the data. So let us first see the transferring the data serially. So here, according to the steps, we have loaded T0 into TMOD register, TH1 that is -3 to set the baud rate, SCON 50 that is mode 1 programming with one start and one stop bit along with the 8 data bits, and start the timer. Okay. Then move SBUF comma A. So we are transferring the data serially. So we have to place the data byte into SBUF register. So we are copying the data byte into SBUF register. Then once you copy any data byte, character byte, it starts serial communication. So we have to monitor the TI flag until it is raised. So JNB instruction can be used to monitor this TI flag. Then clear the TI and SJump again. So to again transmit the same character, I have written this program to transfer the same character. So again it will go back to the again the content will be loaded into SPUF register. We are checking the flag condition here. Clear that flag. Again we are so continuously we are transferring the character A into the device which is connected serially to microcontroller. Right. So here I will load this program and I'll add this to source group, add existing file. So I'll select this serial.asm. So we'll save it. We'll check for any errors. No errors are there. First we'll go to the debug. Start the debug. Yes. So once you start the debug, you have to look for the serial window. So the serial window, you go to this view. So in this, you can see the serial window UART1. Select this UART1. So one serial window will get open, right? So continuously I'll run this, okay, this program so that you can see the continuous displaying of the character A in this UART window, okay. So if I run this program, you can see continuously the character A has been displaying, right? So we have given this sjump again to this statement, right? Move spuff comma a. So repeatedly this character a has been transmitted. So I'll just stop this. Okay. So you can see the character a has been sent serially out. So which we are placing into the spuff register. Okay. So one more program is there to display any message. Okay. So here I'll add that file. Let's see. So this is the file. message.asm. This is the program to transfer a message. So the characters in that message is BMSCE space. Okay, so this will be continuously transmitting BMSCE space, BMSCE space, BMSCE space, something like that. So if number of characters are more in that particular message, you can add the DB directive define byte, and you can use movec instruction to call that entire message starting from the first character. So you can use the DB and movec instructions to transfer transmit a message which consists of more characters. Okay, so here BMSE, since the number of characters is less, so have again and again loaded these characters into SPOF registers. If these characters are more, then you can use DB defined by directive. Okay, so let us run this program. Okay. So your window is open. You need not to open it again. So if it is not there, go to view. Okay. So as I told, go to view, serial window, select UART window there. Okay. So now I'll continuously run this program. So what is there in this program? Tmod 20 we have loaded, th1 -3 for the baud rate, scon 50 started the timer. So move sbuff comma hash b JNBTI here 1. So here 1 is the label. So we are waiting until this character B is transferred serially out. So once the entire character byte is transferred out, we will go to the next statement to clear that flag, clear the TI flag which is raised. So again we are uploading the next character sbuff comma M. Again watch the TI flag. Again, clear the flag. So next character. So like that, we are repeating the same statement. And at the end, what we have transferred this space also. This is also a character. It has ASCII value. That also will be transferred. Then we will clear the flag and SJMP again. Again is the statement starting from B. So we are repeatedly transferring BMSCE space, BMSCE space like that. Okay, so we'll run this program. Yeah. So in the UART window, you can see BMSCE space, BMSCE space. The same message has been transmitted continuously. If you want to transmit it one time or two time, three time also, you can include any count value by taking R0 registers or R1 register. You can use DJNZ instruction to restrict how many number of times you want to transmit that particular message. That also you can do. Okay. So now I'll stop this. So this is the program to transfer more characters. If number of characters are still more, you can go for DB data the directive and movec instruction to load this message into the accumulator and from accumulator to SBUF register. That also works fine. Okay. So now we'll see the program to receive the data. So I'll remove this, remove the file. Again, I'll add this existing file, which is serial receive. Serial receive.asm. Add it, close it. So now I'll check for the errors. So this is serial receive. So here the program I'll explain first. So again, these steps. So these steps are very common for both serially transferring the data or serially receiving the data, whatever may be the task, but these instructions are same. This is to set the baud rate and to select the serial communication mode 1 programming and to start the timer. The timer will be running at the particular baud rate. So now we have loaded 2FH is the immediate addressing mode here. So TF is the value that we have loaded into R0. So here, whatever the data we receive serially through the SPUF register, we are trying to place that in internal memory 2FH address onwards. Okay, so you can use this indirect addressing mode, move 8R0, A later, so that we can copy the data, received data from the accumulator to 2FH 303132 onwards. Right. So we have loaded 2F into R0 and we are waiting for this RI flag to raise. So that means the external circuit is been connected to microcontroller, which will send certain message serially. So microcontroller will receive that message serially, and once one character byte is completely received from the microcontroller, that RI flag will be raised. So we are monitoring this RI flag. Once it is raised, then it will come out of the statement, that is move A comma SBUF. So if RI flag is raised, that means the character byte is there in SBUF register. We will copy the character byte from the SBUF register to accumulator, and from accumulator to at R0. So we are using indirect addressing mode here. So at R0 refers to at 2F. At 2F at is nothing but the internal memory address 2F. Okay. So from accumulator to 2F RAM address, we are copying the data which we have received. So that data will be the ASCII value of the character byte, whatever we have received. So increment R not. So increment R not means to receive the next character byte from 2F to 30, 31, 32, and so on. So we are incrementing this R naught to save the next character byte. Clear RI, clear the flag, RI flag, SJMP here one. So here one is the label given here. Again, the microcontroller is ready to receive the next character byte. That is the meaning of this SJMP here one. We are again we are receiving the data. Again we are monitoring the flag. Again we are copying that into accumulator, from accumulator to the next RAM location. Okay. So since increment R naught is there, we are copying that to next RAM location. So let us run this program and check for the result. Okay. So here we have memory window. So in that I colon 2F I have opened here. So this is the internal RAM addresses. These are the internal RAM addresses 2F, 230, 3132, and so on. So this is the UART. Okay. So here once I start I'll start run here. I'll go to this run option and click on this run option. So now what you have to do is you have to place your cursor in the UART window. Okay, so in the UART window, what I do is I'll give the input to the skill simulator through the keyboard. Okay, through my keyboard, I'll give the input. So for that, you have to place your cursor. You just click on this UART. Now the cursor has come. See, so place your cursor in the UART and type any character. So what I'm doing is now I'm pressing 5, that is key 5, number 5 through the keyboard, and you can see 35 has been received. So 35 is the ASCII value for 5. Okay. So 35 has been received in 2F. Now it will get incremented because INC R0 instruction is there, right? So INC instruction is there. So now the R0 is showing, R0 will be incremented to 30. Now what happens is I will be again place the cursor here, just click on this, then I'll click on G. Okay, that is the character G. See 67, it is showing 67. Okay, 67 is the ASCII value for lowercase g. So what I'll do is again I'll place the cursor here. I'll press capital G. Capital G, that means uppercase G, it is 47. So 47 is the ASCII value for uppercase character G. Okay, so again for the next character, go to the UART window, place your cursor here, then what I do is full stop. Full stop is the character, then 2E is the ASCII value for that particular character. So like this, as I go on giving the input through my keyboard, so it will take certain values like 35, again 5 I pressed, ASCII value of 5 is 35, 9, then this is 39, then again place the cursor, then Q, character Q is 71 is the character ASCII value of the character Q. So like this, for each character ASCII value will be there. That ASCII value will be received through the SBUF register, from SBUF register to accumulator, from accumulator to the internal RAM location. Okay, so this is the program to receive the data serially. It's a simulation program. Okay, so fine. We have studied both the programs, how to transfer the data serially and how to receive the data serially. Fine. Thank you.